these are 6-inch zip ties right here. So I'm just adding, I did add those. Every set of holes on row 1. And I'm going to be adding every set of the zip ties on every set of holes, including the serred holes on row 2 and as well as row 3. I'm not sure about row 4, but once we get to it, we'll know. I do have an extra roll of mess laying over here just in case we need more pieces to cut up. We're using the 3D daisy petal, it's called. Altogether you need 72 pieces for this project. Well, I need 72 pieces. I did make most of the petals. Yes, I did. Lots of petals. You know, I was looking at mine here, you know. These are different sizes, you can see. One is longer, one is shorter. So we'll be I'll be showing you how to correct that, like to make it this small. So when I make petals, it's been a long time since I made a 3D daisy petal. I'll keep chattering on here as I fill up the board here with zip ties. It's been a while since I made the 3D daisy petal. When I started the first 20, I think I made, they were a little bit wonky. Some of them were long, some of them were crooked, some of them as you can see, some of them weren't the size that I want them to be. Like this size right here, this is just a perfect size that I need for this sort of flower wreath here. But these are a little tall, but as we come across these longer ones and wonky ones, we'll fix them. I'll show you how I fix my petals so you don't have to waste your mess. So there it is, my friends. That's all the zip ties. There's the small board. And so we'll put that aside so I can show you how to fold. I'll put this in the back over here. How to fold this 3D daisy. I did leave quite a few lots of 10 by 10 cut mess. I did cut this with a rotary cutter because you don't need to heat seal, as all the cut edges will be hidden down in there, right? Isn't that a little cute and perfect? And so what I've been doing is I've been putting my mess curve side up, right? I'll show you about 5 or 6 petals here so you guys can see what all goes in when I make a petal. So I do have 6.5 inch zip ties here, and then there's 4 inch zip ties. There is a reason why I am using these. I'll now explain when I get to them. And so I put this curve side up. It is cut with a rotary cutter, 10 by a little over 10 inches. And so I put it curve side up, turn it this way to a diamond, and I'll grab this tip and see where the imaginary, I'll show you. I see a little imaginary line here going across, right? See that? And then I see it. Then I grab this tip and put it just over that little center line where you think the center is. I eyeball it. I don't measure and all that. I just eyeball it. And I grab this tip and I just put it over to make like a little square right in the middle. I make a little square in the middle, so that's enough overlapping. And so I put my hand over right there in the middle with my thumb right at the tip here. And I put my hand under and then fold this over, and you have this shape. Well, you need to I need to straighten it out where the tips meet over here. It will fray a little bit, but you can trim those frays as you go. And so here's the soldier or whatever up here and down here, and I can see that imaginary line, and then I pinch in the middle right here where I think is the middle, and then I push this over here and I grab this and push it against the middle, and you have the shape. Okay, and then I grab my 4-inch zip tie, again from Amazon. Oh, see, so that's that. And then what I do, I grab my 6.5 inch. The reason why I'm using this size now here instead of this is because when I grab these right here, right, these ones, see that? I'm gonna put that zip tie under, and it's longer, and so it's easier for me to put it under like that, right? See that? I just put it under, and then I just zip it up. Not all the way. See? It's not zipped up all the way. And then I push this up. So this is a 3D daisy. See? So up where it's, and then I close it tight. And then here I grab my zip tie gun and then I trim those off, and I cut the tail off about an inch, leave about an inch tail, right? And I cut that off. So that's how I make the 3D daisy. So I'll be making a few more here, and then we'll start slipping them into the board. So without me explaining, so just visualize what I'm doing here. Hey, hey, hey. So I made, at least I made, how many petals did I make before I came on here? 32, 32 and 24, that's 32 and 24, that's 56 petals I made before I came on live. So I left quite a few for you, so, because I was running out of time. I'm gonna push this zip tie up, up, up. What I noticed too when I was making these petals, I noticed that some of them were a little, you know, this shape right here. Some of these were up. This is down. What you can make sure when you pull this zip tie up, you pull these together like that. Pull down and pull up when you do that. So this way your petal will be a little straighter. See that? I noticed that. All these little things, little minor errors that I went through with this this petal here that I noticed. So I'm just going under like that, under this part here. See that? Sticking my zip tie in there and making a 3D daisy petal. close your zip tie up, but not all the way, and push it up, until you can't any longer, and then close that off and cut off your tail. Okay, we'll do a couple more, and then we'll just slip those into the board. When I cut up my mess, I did end up having just enough for this project. Like, you need 72 petals, and I had enough, so I didn't end up opening the third row, and so that's good. That's good, I think. That's good. So what I did for this one here, you see, I used the exterior attachment tape. It's for an auto exterior attachment tape. I grabbed the wrong one, right? Some of them were a little wider, but I think I bought the wrong one on Amazon, and so, but I am testing it out. I tested it out on my wreath, and that wreath is still, the sign is still up, so that's good. So, but I used the sticky one, the sticky mount, and then I used the exterior. So if one fell off, one will stay on, right? Sort of thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add one petal in each zip tie. Okay, just one petal. And altogether on row 1 is gonna be 32 petals. Again, the zip tie is a good stopper for when you add your petal in there. So if somebody pulls on it or something accidentally and pulls off the petal, everything it'll stay in there. It won't come off. Okay. So let's add those in there, and we'll see the transformation slowly. So that's what I was gonna show you. As you can see, some of these are longer. These are the first few I made, the first in the beginning. But what you can do here, you can just add a zip tie again and cut off the tail part if it's too long. And it's fixable, my friends, it's fixable. And you can just cut this off and cut off. If it's too much work for you, you can just lay it even down to the second line there, and it'll be good. Okay, so that's what I was trying to get at in the beginning when I explained that some of my petals were wonkier than the others. So I am taller, and and all that, but it's fixable. Where I'm adding my zip ties, as you can see when I say these are a little tall, is where these, where these meet right there, these meet up. That's where I added these smaller ones that I added first. That's where the zip tie, I added the zip tie. So they'll be almost perfect. So you can always fix your petals if you don't think they look great to you. It's all right. And I meant to do this in front of you all as well, so I'm learning too, so we can learn together, right? So I'm always learning myself. You grab your zip tie gun and cut off your tails. sometimes, most of the time, I don't use my zip tie gun. I use my nippers because I think I'm faster with these. Old school style. So all the petals for row 1 are in there, as you can see. If you were wanting to use a 12-inch sign, a 12-inch sign will be perfect right here. No, actually, on the next row. Yeah, scratch that. Or can we add a 12-inch sign? There we go. It's all the petals in there for row 1 on the small board. Put this aside, and I'll fold a few more here for you so I can explain what I did wrong with some of these here. It's not really wrong, but what I think I should have done with most, not these ones. Got the wrong one. This one. This is a little longer than this one, and I'll show you what I did. So what I did, I put this curved side up, 10 by 10 cut with a rotary cutter. I put it curved side up, turn it this way with the points away and towards you, and I grab this and I put it down where just past the imaginary line from this tip to this tip. Put it just past. See that? And I grab this and I just put it right there, just past, where to a point where I think I can see a little square in the middle right there. That's how I fold mine. And so I put my hand right here. I'm right-handed, so I'm just gonna fold this over, right? You get that shape. And what I've been doing for these long ones here is I've been lining these up. Get rid of the frays if you want to, but they won't, so I'll cut them off anyways. So 2 inches is where I've been pinching with the taller, right? But I think that's too long and they don't look, you know, right to me, but that's just me. And what I've been doing is I've been looking at this tip up here, down here and up here, this and this, and I pinch where I think the middle is, pinch right there, and I grab this and push it against the middle where you have this shape, and I grab this again. This is like a little, I call it shoulders, I don't know why, but, and I just push it against. So you got that shape. So that's what I've been doing with these now. But these ones, you can make them shorter or taller if you want with this petal, with this 3D daisy. And then I grab my 4-inch zip tie. You can do a rubber band, but I prefer a zip tie because they make for good stoppers when you add them onto the board. Okay, so I'll grab this one now. The reason being is I need to slip my zip tie in between these two here. See that? These two. You can see my hand. So I need to add my zip tie under. Right? Where? Zip it up. Not all the way, because you need to walk your zip tie up here, where until you can't anymore. That's where you stop. And this is what I've been messing up with mine as well, as I'll show you. You notice when I pull it up, my thumb pulls up this one more up than this one over here, and so they're not really lined up. They're not really the same. And so I'm trying to center that zip tie when I push it up. Try to put it in the center so they'll all look straighter, right? And then I zip it up. And then I clip off the zip tie gun. Again, I'm using the zip tie gun for this part because I did use this and I accidentally you know, cut off some of my mess there. So that's what I've been doing. So that's the difference, I think, for these. So these can go longer. These can shorter and longer if you want. It's up to you. It's your design. So just keep that in mind, though, when you make those 3D daisy chain petal. Daisy, not daisy chain, but 3D daisy petals. It is pretty. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. I'm making this wreath now only. Oh, you are? Who is it that's making that? Let's add those on the second row. So that's what we're, so that's how it is with my wreath for now. So let's add the petals on row 2. So 24 petals in row 2. Every hole I'm using every hole. Zip it up and go on to the next one. What if I held up a tenon sign? Do I have a tenon sign on hand? Hold on. Hold on, I'll show you here. Okay. It's not necessarily this sign I would use for this color though, but I'm just giving you an idea. What you can do as well is you can just do the second row and add a tenon sign in there, and it'll be perfect. Just to see if you wanted to save on mesh, you can do that as well. Or let's hold up the 12-inch sign. Let's hold up a 12-inch sign there and see what it looked like, so you guys can see what you would want to do. So this is, sorry for the noise. So this is a 12-inch sign. If you were to use a 12-inch sign, yeah, you'd need to do this row and this row for the 12-inch. But still, that would look awesome as well. Just to give you an idea. One more for that row. Ready? So that's row 2 done for you. So let me hold up the tenon sign here again so you get an idea. So you see, tenon sign is just perfect and nothing is showing through. So what you'll need right here if you're going to do this with a tenon sign is probably 32, 24, that's 56 petals altogether if you were going to do this. Isn't that cool? So I would stop that there if you were going to do a tenon sign. That's an idea for you there. But we have to keep going, and I have to keep making a few more here for you. So let's add those petals, all 16 of them on row 3. So it's good. See how this one is turning around? Let me show you. I'll show you here. You see how this one is not flat? See, it's turned sideways. What you can do, excuse me, is just turn it this way. And when you close your zip tie, make sure that you hold it right there and close it. I didn't do that. That's for that one, so it's sitting on the side. But I notice it. I don't think you will notice it. And when I add the sign in there, I'm just gonna add that right in those two holes, as you can see. I'm gonna put the pipe cleaners in through there. And so I just cut some off right there and put this back into the hole, one of the holes. And while I'm back here, I'm gonna add this zip tie in there, right there. See, right there. Those are the hanging holes. But I think this is too small. The 6" is too small. What I think I want to do is I want to add a 10". Where do I put those? I'll look for them. Oh, here they are. I'll add this instead. This is a almost 12" zip tie here. So I'm just going to add that in there. And the big, huge, whatchamacallit? Oh, wrong hole. This one. Big, huge zip tie. Uniqueandthecreek.com has 10" zip ties for this part. If you don't want to use the smaller zip tie. And so when I close it, you can, I'm just going to close it. Doesn't even zip. What? Why isn't it zipping? I have it on wrong, I think. Here we go. I think it turned around under there. There we go. I think it's gonna work now. Let's see. Aha! So you can, I'm just gonna close it up this much or a little bit more. And cut that off. And voila! We have a beautiful wreath. There we go. So there it is. The purple flower wreath with a flower center. Isn't that cool? So cool.